A man wakes up at 7 a.m. He checks his phone before he even opens both eyes. Notifications, likes, messages. He scrolls. One reel, then another. A funny video, a quote, a stranger's dance. Dopamine drips into his brain like water from a leaking faucet. It feels good, for a moment, but something's missing. He rushes through breakfast, half listening to a podcast that promises to change his life. He laughs at a meme while brushing his teeth. The day goes on. He goes to work, smiles when he must, agrees when he should, nods when expected. Deep inside, he feels hollow. Not because life is hard, but because it doesn't feel like his life anymore. This is not a rare story. This is the silent epidemic of our age. Living not for yourself, but for the approval of others. Living like a slave, to satisfaction that doesn't even belong to you. What makes a person feel lost? Often it isn't the lack of success, money, or even love. It's the absence of a core philosophy, a set of beliefs, values, and principles that ground a person in reality. Children are guided, teenagers question, but adults must choose. And that choice doesn't happen in a day. It is sculpted over years, through failure, pain, reflection, and courage. Without this foundation, people float. They drift from trend to trend, advice to advice, habit to habit. One day they're waking up at 5 a.m. trying to be productive. The next, they're chasing escapism on Netflix, pretending it's self-care. But in a world of endless scrolling and fleeting pleasures, who has time to reflect? Who dares to be still? Who dares to sit alone, not to be lonely, but to listen? To that quiet voice inside that whispers, "This is not who you are." If life feels unstable right now, it's not because of your job or your relationships. It's because you haven't found your own truth yet, your own why. And without that, you'll keep dancing to the rhythm of someone else's song. You may have inherited beliefs from your parents, teachers, or peers, but have you questioned them? Have you molded your own understanding of the world? Because the person without a philosophy is like a tree without roots, easily shaken, easily moved. There was a time when satisfaction came slowly. It came from building, from waiting, from struggling, from the climb. Now, it comes in seconds, swipe, click, like, laugh. Dopamine, once a signal for meaningful reward, has become a drug with no direction. And the worst part? We know it. We feel it. But we still keep scrolling. Each video, each ping, each scroll gives you the illusion that something new is about to happen. That maybe, just maybe, the next piece of content will fix your life. But it doesn't. It only makes the silence louder when the screen turns off. This addiction to instant satisfaction creates a cycle that leaves no room for growth, no tolerance for discomfort, and no time for introspection. We are training our brains to avoid boredom. And yet, it is in boredom that creativity is born. It is in stillness that self-awareness arises. When everything becomes stimulation, nothing becomes meaningful. And so we trade depth for novelty, philosophy for entertainment, purpose for distraction. But at what cost? There's a quiet kind of slavery that doesn't come with chains. It comes with constant compromise. The kind where you laugh when you don't want to, agree when you shouldn't, and work yourself sick just to earn a pat on the back. You become a mirror for others, not a flame of your own. Why? Because it's easier. Because approval is a drug stronger than dopamine. Because society teaches you early. Be likable, be agreeable, be useful. Even if it kills your spirit. You learn to measure your worth by how many people like you. By how many followers you have. By how often someone says you're doing a good job. But deep inside, the cost is unbearable. Because self-respect begins when you say no. Not out of rebellion, but out of clarity. When you stop trying to please everyone and start honoring your own convictions. If you want to build confidence, stop asking for permission to be yourself. The man who fears judgment will never lead. The person who needs approval will always follow. When you live for others, you die to yourself. So how do you escape this cycle? You stop, you sit, you breathe, and you begin to ask questions that matter. What do I truly believe? What do I value more than comfort? What am I willing to suffer for? What kind of person do I want to become, even when no one is watching? These aren't easy questions, but the answers will shape the bedrock of your philosophy. Your philosophy is your armor, your guide, your quiet resolve in the face of chaos. It is built slowly, through books, conversations, experiences, solitude. It is built by falling and getting up, by noticing what hurts you and why, by standing up for something, even if you stand alone. And it doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be yours. A person with a strong philosophy is not easily manipulated. They can hear 10 opinions and still return to their own center. They can walk through confusion and still carry clarity in their heart. The world praises productivity, but what it truly needs is reflection. Calm time is not wasted time. It is preparation. It is recovery. It is truth. 10 minutes of deep reflection can be more valuable than 10 hours of shallow activity. The most powerful insights come in moments of stillness. In calm time, you ask, how am I doing, really? What am I avoiding? What part of my life feels misaligned? Meditation, journaling, nature walks, these are not trends. They are ancient tools. They are medicine for the mind. And when you embrace that stillness, you reconnect with your essence. In the quiet, we find our voice again. The man who lives by principle may be slower to move, but when he does, he moves with purpose, with conviction, with peace. Calm time doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what truly matters. Here's the truth. You will always disappoint someone, so let it not be yourself. The approval of others is a moving target. But your principles, they're your compass. When you live by them, you become untouchable. Not because you don't feel pain, but because your pain has meaning. Freedom is not about doing whatever you want. It's about knowing why you do what you do. It's not about cutting ties with the world. It's about building unshakable roots inside yourself so you can stand firm even when the world changes. You may still use social media, still enjoy pleasures, but they won't control you anymore. You'll be the master of your attention, the author of your days. You'll start to make decisions based on vision, not pressure. You'll speak because you have something to say, not because you're afraid of silence. That's what freedom feels like. A man wakes up at 7 a.m. He doesn't check his phone. He breathes. He reflects. He writes. He remembers who he is and why he's here. He's no longer chasing satisfaction. He's no longer asking, "Am I enough?" Because he knows the world will still demand. The distractions will still call. But he is no longer a slave. He is free. And so are you, if you choose to be. Don't live for satisfaction that's not your own. Live for truth. Live for peace. Live free. And remember, your life is not a performance. It's a journey. Don't let applause define your steps. Let purpose guide your path.